All right, all right. Welcome back, guys, to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Podcast with your host, Smitty, myself, SimFBallCritic, and AzureEffect when he's able to make it. Always a part of the family, guys. So when he's able to make it, you'll hear his voice. If not, he's definitely always here in spirit. But we got another episode for you guys, man, and we'll let you know in advance. There's not a ton to talk about nowadays. It seems like Madden continues to be the topic. We'll definitely try to continue to talk about things, man, whatever you guys want us to cover. Hopefully you guys, again, we keep giving you the invitation. Hopefully you guys will start coming up with topics that you want us to cover. Because, again, like I said, it's not so much to talk about with this being primarily a sports-based, podcast. But whatever. We'll do our best. So what we basically want to talk about tonight, man, I'll give you the topics really, really quick, and then we'll dive more into, quick introduction in terms of how our week was and how our football games are doing, which obviously mine is playing tonight. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then as far as the topics, man, we want to go into Madden 19 and the meta, the meta mentality. And I want to give a huge shout out before we even get started to NY Kia. I'm sure Kia may pop in here at some point tonight. Did a great video, and he talks about, the meta mentality. And me and Smitty want to kind of expand on that, and talk about whether or not that's killing or has it killed Madden. And I'll preface it with this because sometimes people just listen to the first 2 minutes of the show. We're not taking a jab at Madden. We're not bashing the game. What we're talking about is it's a severe problem that we're noticing in the Madden community that jeopardizes Madden production. So we'll take it from that angle. But then also I want to talk a little bit about the competitive and Simulation Madden players on the same page. And I put a question mark there because you're starting to see more competitive guys complaining about the game as well. We talked about Zan in the past, and I'm sure we'll get into that tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about that as far as bridging the gap in terms of what the game should be fundamentally. We all don't have to get along, but there definitely should be one common goal. So we'll go into that. And then after that, man, we want to talk about, Tiburon. Will EA Tiburon move away from the Band-Aid fixes? And I'll say that because I know Smitty and I are both going to reference that at some point tonight. That's part of the huge problem with Madden. There's a lot of things, guys, that have been fixed, with the Band-Aid approach. And, they kind of swept the dirt under the rug, if you will. Just because the lady is coming over and you want to impress her, but you didn't clean up. You know how you guys used to do when you were single. I never did this, but y'all know the analogy. Man, let me just throw some stuff together. Let me just throw, all the stuff that was in my bed. Let me throw it in the closet. She won't know. But then, once you really start to be with her, then now you got to clean your whole house. And that's kind of the analogy. I'm going to come back to that when we get to that topic, but that's kind of how Madden has to approach this thing, man. Stop with the Band-Aid fixes. But anyway, that's going to be the main topics of the show, and unless you guys throw us an alley-oop in the chat. We don't know how long it's going to take, but I will say it ain't going past 10 o'clock tonight because I'm watching my boys. So if it goes to 10, great. If it doesn't, hey, it is what it is. But first and foremost, Smitty, man, how was your week? And how are you currently feeling about the state of your Detroit Lions?
Week was good. As far as the Lions are concerned, Stafford got sacked 9 dang on times. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
9 freaking sacks, bro. You can't win when you don't have adequate protection. You can never be a good quarterback. You can be a talented quarterback, but you can't be a good professional quarterback when you don't have adequate protection. You can't have protection one week and then it not be there the next. You have to have it. Every time, especially here in Michigan, every time there's a discussion about top QBs and all that stuff, the main thing that they all have in common is they all have good offensive lines. They all have good protection. They may not have great receivers, but they have good protection. So that way, that quarterback, depending upon the type, whether he's a scrambling quarterback or he's just a straight up pocket passer, he has adequate time to do some work. And they have adequate protection that they can actually run the ball too. The problem with the Detroit Lions is that we're just starting to figure out a running attack of some sort. And it's like we don't have anything consistent on our team right now other than losing. We don't have anything consistent except being hopeful, only to fall short. And sometimes way short. And it's like when you look at teams, for example, like people, I was talking with one of my friends the other day. They bring up the Patriots, they bring up the Packers, they bring up the Panthers and all that. I'm like, these are all teams with stout offensive lines. They all do. I'm sorry. If Tom Brady doesn't have a good offense, give Tom Brady Detroit's offensive line. He's getting killed. He will not look like a great quarterback because he'll get killed. If he doesn't have enough time, that man, he's done. That man would probably quit if he was in the Detroit uni because he would have got hit way more than he did in New England. That's just facts. So when I look at the Lions, once again, we're not great defensively. We have the potential. We could put up stats and be like, "Oh, look where we rank," but we're not great. We don't have a stout defense. Well, I'm not saying we got to be like Legion of Boom in Detroit, but I'm saying we need to have something on whether it's offensively or defensively that has to be like we know, like if you step into Detroit, man, you better be mindful of these people because they gonna give you problems. That's guaranteed. We don't have that here. We don't have that. New England, the years they won championships, they had it. The greatest show on turf, freaking St. Louis Rams back then, they had it on both sides of the ball. The Ravens, what was that? The 01 Ravens or whatever? No, not 01, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if that was 01. But those Ravens were extremely dominant.
Daddy.
Yes, baby.
I know one thing.
Huh?
Please.
Hold on, baby. Hold on. So they were extremely, extremely dominant. Okay? We don't have anything. We're not moderately dominant in any facet.
Daddy. That's what this is.
Hold on. I'll be there in just a minute, sweetheart. Okay? Hold on just a second. So that's what I'm saying with Detroit. With excuse me, with Detroit, we're a team that is in. I feel that we're in rebuild mode. There are people that are saying, "Oh, we need to get rid of Stafford. We need to give up on Stafford and start fresh." It's like it's not going to matter if you throw Stafford out. You're going to be in the exact same situation in a few years' time, and be saying, "Get rid of quarterback X" because they can't get it done, and then we're going to be pointing to the same problems. And I've said this here before. It's the same thing. The one thing you hear Sim talk all the time about the defensive problems that are in Pittsburgh, but they got a stout offensive line. My man Connor wouldn't be getting off if he didn't have a good offensive line. Ben Roethlisberger wouldn't be remotely close to the QB that he would be if he didn't have a stout offensive line. Now, yeah, there may be some holes and some issues here and there and everything like that, but at the same time, he has you have a good offense, and that's you have a potent enough offense that you are dangerous. So it's like you still have something you really have to be accountable for. We don't have that here in Detroit. We don't have a defense. We have players here and there that can do some good work, but we don't have a whole team or even half of the team. We don't have a pass rush. Our linebacking core is just now starting to get somewhat decent, but we still need pieces there. Our secondary definitely needs work. Our offensive line definitely needs some work. We're just now starting to establish a run game, and we definitely need help with the passing game. So it's like we need help. We need help in terms of the whole entire team. That's why we're gonna keep. That's why we keep on struggling the way we're struggling. And I mean, it's not acceptable. But when you basically go into rebuild mode, this is what's gonna happen. This is what you get. So at the end of the day, man, it's like I understand the reality of what the Detroit Lions are and what the situation is. So I'm not tripping about it like that. But at the same time, there's a level of reality that has to be fully understood here. And and I mean, Detroit fans, the quicker they'll realize that, the better. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much where they're at this point. So I'll throw it to you, bro.
Yeah, man, it's always, to me, even as just a football fan, watching teams like the Lions over the years, it just seems like they never can overcome something. You even think back to the the Barry Sanders days. It was Barry Sanders was just doing all he could. And you fast forward a little further, you get you a pretty solid quarterback in Stafford, get you one, a heck of a receiver, an incredible talent in Calvin Johnson, and then it's the same thing. It's still like the defense doesn't seem to help him out. And then it seems like when the defense starts rounding shape, like, the year when guys went to the playoffs against the Cowboys a few years back, then it still seemed like the offense wasn't as powerful. So it's weird, man. Yeah, and it sucks. It has to suck looking at things like that. And, just talking about Pittsburgh, I'll be quick with it. They are playing a lot better than I expected. Still don't trust the defense. I think they are rounding into shape, but again, you have to consider who we're playing. They went to Baltimore and won that. I thought they would drop that game because we had 3 straight divisional games. I was hoping to go 2-1 in those games. We went 3-0. But, that's the Ravens and those are the Bengals. Those are teams that you're used to. I still think we're about to see. Well, now we're starting to play some, unfamiliar teams, if you will, that you don't play all the time, and some talented teams. This is a talented, hard-nosed Panthers squad tonight. Would not be surprised if they lose tonight. Because, again, your team ain't going to win every game. They on a 4-game win streak. Carolina's hot right now. Carolina's physical. Steelers just played a physical game against the Ravens. It's not going to surprise me if they lose this game tonight. However, I do think it is still a winnable game. But, again, we got the Chargers coming up. They looking great. We still got to play Breeze. We still got the Patriots. We're going to see. We're going to see exactly what the Steelers defense is, when there's some more teams out here that's able to challenge us. But, I hope they get a win tonight. It's going to be crazy me trying to keep up with the show and watch the game. As y'all know, I document the game because I do, the post-game show, and I do the Terrible Towel Tuesday. So it's going to be interesting, man, and we'll see if they can get a win. If they don't, again, man, if they drop this one after a 4-game win streak, it is what it is. It's really just it becomes, to me, it all comes down to how they lose. They mess around and get blown out, then I'm going to have a lot to say. But if it's just a tough-nosed football game and they just happen to drop it, it is what it is. But we'll see. I think the AFC is still semi-wide open. You got the Patriots. You got the Chiefs, but neither team defense scares anybody. It's going to be interesting, man, to see who makes it down the stretch. But yeah, Smitty, man, I don't know. I mean, maybe things will start to change in Detroit, man. Maybe, Patricia, I don't know if, I know people probably trying to run him out of there already. I don't agree with that. I think you stick with a coach at least a few years to see what he can build.
Yeah.
So maybe they got a better future coming. We'll see.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
We'll see. We will see.
So we're going to dive into this Madden talk, guys. Let me put the disclaimer out there right now. I saw my boy, what's up to Brooklyn Bully, and also what up to Smooth, man. Appreciate you as always. But my man Brooklyn Bully, man, I gotta agree with what he said. He said he can't do it anymore. And I'm really, really, really close to that, guys, in terms of Madden. So I want to set this stage before we dive into it. It's really hard to play the game right now. Because of just the minor things, man, that is lacking in. You know, I posted a video not too long ago. Maybe you guys saw it, maybe you didn't. But I showed how when playing against a user, you know, when they click on, that guys still get this crazy boost, and those are the type of things that kill the game. Because Smitty and I will say it over and over and over again. I don't think from top to bottom that Madden is trash. I think the problem with Madden is it has legacy problems that kill the immersion, and also because of those problems, anything that they implement in the game sometimes runs like it's a conflict with the new technology versus the old technology, and it kills a lot of things that they once had. You know, like the RPM. You know, Smitty and I both have said it, and NYK said it in his video. It seems like it ain't what it was when the game launched. And all of this tuning and patching, and it's just gotten to a point, man, where it's just not immersive enough. I'm trying to keep up with the offline. Y'all notice, you guys who've really been following the channel, you notice you haven't seen a Steelers-Panthers game. I've usually been keeping up with the weeks. You ain't seen it, have you? I'm a little behind because it's not keeping my attention. That Red Dad got me, man. You know, I've been spooning with her for a while. You know, that's my new girl right there. So I've been playing 2K, and I'm trying not to give up on the game, man, because I know what the devs want to do, but it's at the end of the day, it's like this. And then I'll throw it to Smitty to kick it off. The devs know how I feel about them. They know how I feel about their intentions. They know how I feel about where they want to take the game. So I'm putting that to the side. But even with that said, I have to judge the game on what we have to play right now. That's the only way I can judge it. And from what we have right now is just not keeping my attention. There's too many legacy issues. There's too many, you know, overriding and AI and not respecting relative position, and you know, the ball trajectories, all of these things is making it a dud for me at times. So those are just my quick thoughts. But what you guys, Smitty, man? I know this is a wide range of topic that we got here.
Yeah, you know, let me say this real quick, and this was something I came across this week before we started the show. This is what Hollywood Sports, shout out to him, man. Hollywood Sports said this. He said, he replied to Joke. You know, this is Joke now, comp player, all that, Madden. He said, block field goals do not belong in competitive Madden. Hollywood said, why do you want to play the sport of football without no football rules? Every esport plays with the rules but you guys, SMH. He's right. These other two tweets that he has said, that Hollywood said. NBA 2K competes with basketball rules. FIFA competes with soccer rules. NHL competes with hockey rules. But you guys don't want to compete with football rules. Come on, man. You know, and then one he had said earlier, it's Madden NFL football. Keyword being NFL. We can't forget that this is the sport of football. You have to play with football rules. That's why Madden is the only game that does not replicate its sport. MLB The Show does it. NBA 2K does it. But you don't want Madden to do it. See, what he's saying there is a very valid sentiment. I mean, look at the top 10 plays that EA put out that you see. They are these zany, wild, out of control. Just it looks very arcade-like. Very arcade-like. When you see these plays that are executed time after time after time. And they're like, yo, these are the top plays. How is that so? You know what I mean? Like, you have guys that say they don't want to fumble. They don't want this to happen. They don't want. It's like, well, what kind of game do you want to be playing? And I understand why they say they don't want the field goal blocks because it's a scripted sequence. I get that. If you practice it, you can basically get money on that block every single time as long as you time it right. I get that. But the thing is, this is how I feel about stuff like that. If I'm playing a game of football and it comes down to a field goal being blocked, then I should have performed better during the course of the game. That's how I look at it. What did I not do during the course of the game that I could go back and look at? Just like any NFL team, just like a basketball, soccer, hockey, every sport in real life. What do? They go back and look at, dang, you know what? I should have done better here. I should have done better there. I should have done better with this. I should have done better with that. So when it happens in esports and you're competing for money, well, what are you saying? You played a completely flaw-free game and it came down to a field goal? No, if you played a completely flawless game and it came down to a field goal, then you had a bunch of flaws. You see what I'm saying? But that's talking about that scene. Not key. That's not the key. The key is the sport of football being replicated. I'm not concerned about the fact, like, I don't care that comp players want certain things to go a certain way. And I don't care that casual players want things to go a certain way. I want football to happen when the game is being played and fired up. That's it. Just like what Sim said. It makes you not want to play the game. Like real talk. I mean, guys, I stream Madden and everything like that, and I'm going to do that. But I'm also going to start streaming APF. And I mean, you've heard me talk about it in the past and say, man, I'm not really messing with that like that. I play it occasionally, but the thing is, I want to add I want to play APF, and I want to see what football stuff really gets me excited though. Because when I look at competitive Madden, or even when I watch football on Sundays, or I look at football highlights, I don't get excited off of Madden. It doesn't get me in the mode to want to play. Like, if I watch the NBA, I get excited and want to play NBA 2K. It gets me in the mode because I know what kind of game it is. Even with the patching and the nerfing they've done, the core game is still very tangible. And I can adjust sliders to tailor, like, they have sliders that I can legitimately go through and tailor the experience in spite of the problems. Now, is it going to alleviate what people do on patches and stuff? No, it's not going to do that. But it still is going to give us, we'll still have a better game at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? That I can play. But the problem, that I have when I'm playing, when you play Madden, you don't have any other choice. You're just stuck. All you can do is adjust some sliders and hope for the absolute best. But I mean, look, RPM is basically null. Players can side strafe all over the field now. It's like football is it's like the football elements, the real world football elements are being taken out. And I don't understand that. Players can't adjust. You got to adapt at some point. you don't adapt, you're just going to get left behind, man. And that's what honestly needs to happen with this game going forward. People just got to start getting left behind. It can't always be about cheese and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I know about the SFL. Like I get tweets from them, and I look at their videos at times and everything. But I'm just talking about playing it. Like I told Sim before we fired this up, I was going through and I came across some videos that were just recommended. They were suggested to me or whatever. And I was looking, and there was somebody did a highlight reel video of some plays they had in APF. It was like maybe a four, maybe 5-year-old video. And it's like the plays that they were showcasing in that game is like, OMG, like this is football stuff right here. Like if I just got done watching an NFL game, I would want to fire up APF because of what it's giving me. And now I watched the video and I watched a highlight video. Like it was like a highlight video of the NFL from this past week that was put out there. And I watched it. This was this morning. And it's like, when I look at those APF highlight vids, it makes me want to fire up APF. It makes me want to fire it up and just start playing that. Because, yes, it's got all of its flaws and shortcomings and everything else, but at the same time, it has a lot of mechanical stuff in it that we want Madden to have, but we still don't have. That Madden should have, and it's not there. And I mean, I played the game like last night. I played it for a hot one, and it's like, man, I'll just sit there and play, and I'm like, man, if they could have just put out 2 more installments of this game, I don't even know where I'd be. I don't even know if I'd be playing Madden right now, to be quite honest, because of what keeps happening with the game. Play the game, we see what happens with the game. We go to we go to the studio. We come back home. We're like, this game is awesome. I can't wait for it to come out. And then 3-4 weeks later, 4 weeks later, top, once the game comes out, the game that we played, the game that people enjoyed playing the beta on, and all that stuff is gone, completely gone. You know what I'm saying? And it's extremely frustrating. So, I mean, and it is very aggravating. Like, I understand the processes and I get limitations and stuff like that. I understand all that. And like Sim said, we're not saying this to razz devs and bang on them. It's got nothing to do with that.
Oh, my bad.
But
Steelers just scored on the first play of the game after giving up a touchdown to first drive after giving up a touchdown to the Panthers. Wow. Okay. Juju Smith-Schuster to the Heezy. Go ahead, my bad, Smitty. Yeah, I'm going to tell y'all right now, y'all might get a lot of this tonight. I'm letting y'all know that right now. You might get a lot of interruptions tonight. Because I'm watching my boys. All right, go ahead, Smitty, my bad.
Oh, no, you good. You good. No, shoot. I don't even know what else I was saying. I basically lost my train of thought. I don't know. No, you could go ahead, Sim. I don't.
Wow. Well, let me say this real quick. The crazy thing is about this game that the guy who just got beat, I tell some people know this, Smitty, but my wife's cousin is Bradbury's agent, and he's Jesse Bates's agent. So it's just funny because I talked him up in my terrible towel, and there he is. Juju beats him. I think he fell on the play, and he scores on the first play or whatever. But really, really quick, man, for you Steelers fans who are watching, I can't believe one of you guys said, "Why am I not watching the game?" Do you really think I'm not watching the game, brother? Anyway, let me say this real quick in regards to Pittsburgh, and then I'll go into the Madden stuff. I told you guys on Terrible Towel Tuesday, for the Steelers fans who are listening, the defense is going to get tested tonight. They're really going to get tested because football is all about matchups. And you know what, Smitty? This brings us right into Madden and all of that. It's all about matchups. The Steelers haven't played a team this year that runs read option pretty much their whole drive. That's what they did on that first drive. They threw a couple passes in there. And I said on Tuesday, I said, we cannot afford to get caught in a situation where Christian McCaffrey is running out of the backfield and Vince Williams is the cover or John Bostic is the cover. And how did they score the touchdown after they went all the way down the field? They threw a quick pass with McCaffrey out of the backfield and Vince Williams trying to chase him. Touchdown, Carolina. That kind of stuff doesn't happen the way it's supposed to in Madden. That's why we are talking about these things. Madden doesn't always respect the matchup. It's a lot of times the dice roll kicks in or somebody gets the speed burst, etc., etc. And this is what we're talking about. But to comment on what you said about Joke, it's one of those things, guys. It's one of those situations where we don't want random things as well. I understand the competitive crowd, just like, you know, when Falls and Gibbs used to tell us all the time, you know, we want to play a real football game, but we also don't want things that we can't control. Wait a minute. Y'all said our voices are cutting in and out? Hold on one second.
Hold on. Let us know if you could hear us.
Yeah, let us know if you can hear us.
Can everybody hear us, or is it just Jump that's having the problem?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear us all clearly as we're talking here?
And you know what, Kia? I'm kind of on your side of things also. I kind of feel like that, but I know with Smitty, I know where Smitty is going when he says he wants to pay APF, but it's hard for me to play APF for other reasons, and I'll get into that. But yeah, confirm, guys, that y'all are hearing us okay before we continue, because it seems like Jump might be the only one. Sounds good to me. Okay. All right, so here's the thing. You don't want random things happening all the time, things that you can't control. So, you know, Gibbs and Farrells used to always say, you know, Smitty and I would be like, oh, to the house, baby. That's what I'm talking about. My bad, guys. My bad, guys. So, Smitty, let me keep you up on what just happened here, man. So y'all hearing me go off. So Cam.
No, I saw it. You saw it.
Now, let's talk football real quick.
Yep.
Cam, what are you doing? Throw that ball away. First of all, let's see the replay because I love Cam Newton, by the way. I love who he is, but you see TJ Watt in your face. Get rid of that ball now. I mean, take the penalty. You can't throw it in the middle of the field. You can't. He's trying to go to Olsen. Wow, Cam. That was terrible right there. That was terrible. But anyway, what was I saying, man? About Madden. I understand the bobble snap thing, because Farrells used to always say, well, we got to get it to where it's a mechanic. I'm cool with that too. So I want to speak up for those guys. Not all of the comp guys are on some non-football type of stuff. Not all of them. But there is a touchy balance there, Smitty. And I think me and you both agreed when they told us that. Yeah, I agree with that too, is you don't want things to be random. But I don't agree with the sentiment of guys saying they don't want that at all in competitive play. Because that's football. Like what just happened to Cam Newton is football. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I can imagine seeing a guy say, nah, I don't want that. I want to just be able to throw the ball in the ground when that happens. That's how some of these guys act. They don't want pressure to cause an interception. No, I want a mechanic where I could just get rid of it. Some people literally think like that when it comes to competitive. And the problem is the devs need to stop giving in to that crowd and our crowd. Follow what I'm saying here. Make football. Stop worrying about coddling the sim crowd, the competitive crowd. Just replicate football. That is your solution. But the problem that Madden is having right now is they keep tweaking and tinkering and Band-Aid fixing everything. That's not going to work. You can't, that's not going to work, man. And that's why you get people like us that are frustrated because, again, I don't know if you guys have seen the video, and I hate the self-promotion type of thing, but you guys may have seen the video that I posted a little while ago, a couple of days or so ago, and where the user is getting a boost. I mean, I'm making the right read. I'm making the perfect read on these plays, but because he clicks on and hits the button, ball hawk kicks in, or, just the dice roll to give him the win kicks in, but it just completely negates the whole, respecting player positioning. Completely kills it. And it just takes everything away from the game, man. But, man, it's bad, man. It's bad. Because me and Smitty said this a couple years ago. You look at FIFA, and you look at how FIFA is, and they, the game looks so good, and they don't try to cater to anything when it's in a competitive state. It's just the game. You know what I mean? And we can't say that about Madden. It just, because somebody said here tonight, Smitty, I didn't see it. Somebody in the chat said that somebody lost this past tournament due to a glitch. And I didn't see the glitch, so I don't know which glitch they're referring to. But how many times are we going to go through that?
See, that's the thing about it, though, Sim. How can people get upset that they lost to a glitch when they cheat anyway?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm upset because they use this glitch to beat me. I'm like, but don't y'all use those all day, every day? Like, you guys do it all the time. So, see, part of the problem is, number one, these guys cheat all day. They look for the exploit in the game to win. Secondly, EA allows it. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you allow them to go on these big stages with their cheats already loaded up in the back of their mind. Like, I've been labbing on these exploits all day. So then when a title update comes out, then people get upset.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, but this is what y'all wanted, though. Y'all cheat. Y'all do this. And this is from me talking to a few other people earlier on. I'll throw it back to you, Sim. Was that, like a few days ago, was that he said that people in the FIFA community are upset. See, people that care about the authenticity when it comes to playing FIFA 19, they're happy with the game because they don't have to really touch the sliders that much at all, because the game out the box is a pretty good game. But then you also got a whole lot of people, casuals and all that stuff alike, that are upset because they made the game realistic. And see, that's the thing about that. You have to just, at the end of the day, as an end user, you have to get better. Flat out. It's on the end user. You got to get better. You can't say you don't know how to play. You can't say you can't learn how to play. Oh, I can't do this. Yeah, you can. You just don't want to. You want to play the way you want to play, and as soon as you can't play the way you want to play, oh no, they busted the game. Now you pulling on Clint pants leg and everything. Fix this, fix this, fix this. When it's not something that necessarily needs to be fixed. Enhance it, yeah. Don't fix it, basically spay and neuter it for other people because of how they feel. And that's a big part of the problem. No. You need a game to be authentic and play authentic. You know, like, I want to see that happen. Why do we want this game to keep staying in the box? And then the crazy part is you'll listen to these same guys, comp people, all that stuff. They watch the NFL, and they will have all this stuff to say about what happens with the game they watch. But then the game they play that they want to make a living off of, they want that to basically be this arcade experience where there's nothing but absolutes across the board. No dynamic variable. Like what happened with Cam Newton, that's dynamic. If that happened to somebody in the tournament, they throwing their controls saying, "Oh, come on, EA." Like, they're going to be blaming EA for something that happens in football. And it happened to them. Well, it's like, it happens. Suck it up, get better. That's it. Call better plays. You made a bad decision. No, but I hit the button to throw the pass away, so he should have threw it away. But I was doing a tackle and your body was spinning, and then you just happened to throw it off target. Oh well. All right, I just got to get better. PES and FIFA, Sim, you know this, especially with FIFA. If somebody clips my leg as I'm kicking the ball, should the kick that I take still go in perfect trajectory, perfect stride to the intended target? No freaking way. That sucker is gonna be augmented. And I'm like, I could go into the instant replay and see why it happened. That's what's supposed to happen. We got it in FIFA. We got it in NHL. Why don't we have it in Madden? Why not? Madden will never get there by the way some of these people react to the game taking any innovative stride. That's the problem that I got, bro. But I'll throw it back to you. I mean, going tangent there. But
nah, man. We could keep it going. Actually, man, if you want to, it's probably an appropriate time to go into the thing that we talked about before the show about, somebody giving up all of those sacks.
Oh yeah. All right, look, let me, some people that heard me on my stream, I touched base on this a little bit, but I definitely wanted to bring it up in here. Let me see here. My dude, okay. Let me see. It basically TD Barrett, okay? Now, for those of you guys that don't know who TD Barrett is, he's a well-known YouTuber. He definitely plays a lot of Madden, okay? Now, he put up a tweet. This was like on Sunday or Monday, something like that or whatever. He puts up a tweet, and he adds Clint and Kralo in it. People that don't know who Kralo is, Kralo's the community manager. Obviously, we know who Clint is, Clint Oldenburg. And what he basically said was, he was trying to play the game, not him, excuse me, his cousin, his little cousin. I'm not concerned about how old they are. I don't care if they're 12, 21, 31, 81, 91, right? So, when I saw the tweet, and he basically said that his cousin was trying to play online and he got sacked 29 times because of the big nickel over guard blitz or exploit, basically. He got sacked 29 times in 2 games. Now, of course, Clint gave the PC comment and everything else, and understandably so. He's like, we got to figure out better ways to onboard. Sorry he had this bad experience. And, we definitely got fixes. We're working on getting that stuff fixed. Okay, cool. But these are the questions that I have, though. For TD Barrett, you have a channel with, I don't know how many subs he has. He got a lot of subs. But why didn't you teach him how to play Madden? I mean, what kind of onboarding tool do you need? Because these are the first few things. Did you play call out of formations that have a decent amount of people lined up to block? Did you bring in extra blockers? The routes that you ran, the plays that you called, were they short routes? Were they medium? Were they deep? Were you trying to throw deep when you should have threw short? Did you, instead of passing, did you run instead? You know what I'm saying? Like, multiple things here. Did you go into the tutorial, learn how to play? Did you did you go into practice mode and lab with them? Show them some things in terms of what's happening with the game. Did you go into the skills trainer? Because they have all kinds of mechanics in there. They talk about the different formations, and they talk about all these different things, all these different aspects and elements of football, and the mechanics: run mechanics, pass mechanics, defensive mechanics, zone play, gap play, man defensive play, cover 3, cover 2, cover 4, all that good stuff. They talk about it all and show it to you all in the trainer. So if you didn't do any of that, then why are you just immediately going to Clint? I mean, it makes it sound like he should just, because you played, you won. Like it's participation. It's not that kind of party, dude. And I mean, to be quite honest, if you get sacked 29 times, to be brutally honest, you suck. Like you're not good at Madden at all. Okay? You have a whole lot of work that you need to do to learn the game. Flat out. Now, like what I was saying on my stream about it before, if I play, like I went to the arcade before, okay? I played in the arcade, me and my best friends and others and stuff. We would go to the arcade and basically playing fighting games. Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, Marvel vs. Capcom, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, all that, right? Those that know, you know about bringing your quarters and putting that sucker on the screen. That's like holding your spot in line saying you next. If you go up there...
You better not move that quarter.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
The Street Fighter is hopping off in person.
Yup.
Oh, man, those were the days, man. And guess what? Man. You ain't have to worry about nobody getting shot up either.
Yup.
Ain't that crazy?
Facts.
God bless to those people today, man. I meant to say that at the top of the show, man.
Yeah. Yes.
Terrible stuff, man.
Yeah. That's wild. And dang, I ain't even think about that parallel like that. See, that's jacked up, man. But but I mean, if I went to the arcade and somebody got a double perfect on me, or I got my tail kicked or whatever, they weren't about to come back next week and say, hey, we're moving this Marvel vs. Capcom arcade box out and we're putting a new one in. Why y'all doing that? Well, because we had some parents complain because the game was too tough and they couldn't win. So we put this new box in here, different version of the game. It's going to be easier across the board for people to play. Like, they're going to be looking like, what? Who complained about it? And if somebody do something like that to ruin an experience for other people, they are going to be giving you the side eye. Like, this one right here. Really? This is what this one is tripping like that? All right. So that's why I'm saying you had to get better. You took like what Will Smith says, learn to fail forward. If you get your tail kicked, okay, I got my tail kicked. What did they do that I wasn't doing? Let me figure out how to get better. Let me come to the arcade with a $10, $20 bill, or during the course of the week when ain't nobody here. Let me get on the sticks and just jam out. play against the CPU and just figure out who can I operate the best with and do what I need to do with this game. Period, point blank. That's all you do. Get better. And then as soon as you get better, then you go out there and you learn. Then you go out there and you prove yourself, regardless if somebody is using some kind of cheesy exploit or whatever. You see what I'm saying? And oh, by the way, Barry, just to the point of that, there were videos where people pointed. I'm like, I watched multiple videos where I had watched multiple videos before TD Barrett put up his tweet that were dated before TD Barrett put up his tweet about his cousin, that where they talk about not only the glitch and how to perform it, but also how to stop it. So if TD knew about it, how come he didn't tell his cousin about it? How come he just let his cousin get sacked the way he did? See what I'm saying? So there's he doesn't get any leniency in this case because he clearly knew what the problem was, Barry. And yet, look what he did. He did nothing about it except complain. The only action he took was clearly tell Clint, which is fine. But at the same time, I'm not going to have as much empathy because you didn't school your cousin the online world. You just threw him out there. It's just like I said. You go to the arcade, you slap that quarter on the screen, there ain't no mercy on you. You get waxed, get better. Come back stronger. Don't cower and say, well, we got to make sure that the timid ones are okay. Like, no, that's not how it works. Got to get better. So I will say this, though. When it comes to onboarding people, I've said this to Sim before. They need to do like MLB The Show when it comes to onboarding a player to this game. Do like they do. You pick your favorite team, and like how Madden does. You pick your difficulty, you pick your play style, you pick your favorite team. As soon as you do that, then go ahead and fire up a full game for them. And within the first 2 quarters, show them as they're playing. Let them know what the mechanics do. Let them know every single thing. That way, they know how to do it, or at least they initially experience it. And then you could just be like, let's say they go through some of the key things within the first quarter and a half. Then after that, they can play the rest of the game. If they want to quit, then they can quit. But otherwise, they can continue to play. And just leave it as don't make it just a initial opening experience. Make it something that they can play at the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like they can go into the exhibition menu or play now and say play training game. And then it'll just fire up a game and give you all the tutorial information in the game. Not just the pro tips, but like let's say if you decide to call an audible, they'll show you the audible screen. Then they'll tell you the stipulations of the audibles that you call out. You know what I'm saying? So those are things that they need, that they can do to help with onboarding. Because Madden already has a ton of stuff in their game to help you be onboarded. A ton of stuff. So to still be like, well, we need to onboard better. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of that would be better. Otherwise, it's on the end user to actually apply the tools. And like I said, in the case of a guy like a TD Barrett that knows Madden, plays online a lot, he got plenty of videos doing that. He knew what he was getting his cousin into. And he didn't bother to warn him, basically. He didn't give him clean advisory. He just walked right in and got bombed on, and then he's like, "Oh my gosh, we got to do this." Like, no, got to get better. So that's just it, man. But I mean, of course, EA's got to fix the game and fix their issues as well. So, but I'll throw it to you, Sim.
Yeah, man. It's we're not trying to negate the glitch or whatever, but at the same time, I mean, like Smitty said, I mean, you gotta take some action. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just, you know what I'm saying? You just can't let it roll like that. And if I know it's a glitch, like I guess what I'm saying, the first thing I would do is check around. I have enough people I can check with. You know, I can check with guys like, you know, the Zans of the world. You know, even Kia a lot of time is up on those things. Or the Rellies of the world. You know, certain guys I could be like, yo, is this a glitch? What's going on? But I don't know, man. I mean, 29 sacks definitely to me sound like a pure glitch. Like, that sound like more than just like, and I know I'm gonna sound crazy by saying this, but I think you guys will understand what I'm saying. That sounds like more than just a little issue. You know, like, fix the game. Like, nah, clearly this is a glitch where you could just line up and it's gonna be a sack almost every time. So yeah, I kind of feel the same way as Smitty, man. I mean, try to find a way to compensate for it, or, you know, it's definitely nothing wrong with reporting it, but I just think sometimes things are blown out of proportion, man. And I really feel like, to kind of lead into the next thing, sometimes I feel like, you know, guys who play competitively or casually, we're on the same page, and then sometimes it's some of us that are so far out of the way on both sides. You know, because you even see it on our side, Smitty. You see sim guys that are asking for insanely, you know, insane things. You know, like, they ain't gonna be able to do that. Not right now. With the, you know, the current state the game is in. And I think that's where we all have a responsibility. And I know, guys, let me say it before y'all say it to me. It shouldn't be our job. You're right. It shouldn't be our job to help shape the course of the game, but at the same time it is. Because as fans, we should always be telling them what we want, number one. But number two, we know the deal with Madden. We all know the situation. We know it's not just at the dev level that is the reason why they can't do certain things and get things fixed or implement certain things. We know why. So that's why we got to be extra careful in the way we convey our feedback, and we gotta find a way to get on the same page. We have to. So as a collective, we're kicking in the door for fundamentals. Because one thing that they definitely listen to, you know, speaking of the figureheads who are making all of these executive decisions that clearly is not helping, in my opinion, the quality of their game. If you start seeing those guys who are now the ones that are pretty much the face of your game start to complain, like, imagine how much damage it would do. And we kind of touched on this last week. How much damage would it do? And if you guys hear this, you know, I'm using your name because you guys are the biggest name. So, you know, I'm not trying to throw y'all names in the mix like that. And I think y'all understand that. Imagine if you were a Problem or Skimbo or Dubby, you know, Drenny, some of these guys. And imagine if they say, we ain't playing in the tournament until this game gets fixed. The biggest people. I'm not talking about, you know, just some guy making it and getting in. I'm talking about the heavyweight guys that we see every single year. And I'm gonna throw another God bless and rest in peace, man, the true boy. And I'm just remembering his real name, Taylor. I'm forgetting what was my man's name, Smitty, that on Madden. Spot me, yeah. Yeah, all was stuck in my head was Taylor. But yeah, you know, it still kills me and pains me that, you know, the tragic things that are happening across America with, you know, the gun violence and all that. Who would have ever thought it would have affected, you know, a Madden tournament? That's just, it's just crazy. So it still pains me to know that those guys won't be there. But just follow what I'm saying. The heavy hitter names like that. Imagine if them guys would have said, we ain't playing in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Then what?
They're already fed up.
And that's why we got to click up, man. And I'm saying that to all of you guys in our community, because there are guys in our community that just want to beef with them. Like, let's stop doing that, man. Like, we got to get on the same accord because we got to get to those figureheads. You know, the guys that are, y'all, you know, y'all laugh when I do the voice, but we got to get to those, oh, well, the numbers are doing good. I don't, you know, we're okay. We got to get to them. We got to get them to understand, well, we about to affect your numbers as a collective. We're tired of the game. We're fed up at the fact that it's not fundamentally sound. Come on now. Like, I'm tired of talking about Madden, guys. I really am. Like, me and Smitty have gotten to a brink point. Like, we're about to explode. and you know, and even the people within Madden and, you know, the Kralos of the world, shout out to Kralo if he hears this, they know our frustration. You know, me and Smitty, and it's many others, but I think from an outside, you know, from guys within looking at the program, they'll probably look at me and Smitty and guys like Azure and be like, these dudes are overly passionate. Because we don't be playing them games. Every time we have a discussion, it ends up being like a debate, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we not settling for the, you know, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be brutally honest. There's some people in the group that we talk to they always trying to poo-poo ideas, man. Like, well, they can't really do that because, like, man, shut up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you doing that? Like, whose side? I mean, why you trying to be so buddy chum? Like, we trying to get the best game. We don't need you to be right now. Well, you know, I kind of understand. I mean, you know, well, from a business standpoint, like, come on, bro. Chill out. Because the rest of these games ain't giving us that.
Right.
They all want to make money. So let's stop acting like Madden is the only one. Oh, well, it's because of money. Yeah, okay, it could be, but that's still a problem because guess what? And I might start playing this, Smitty. I might start going out here and playing some my team in 2K. Let's do card collecting where the gameplay is really good with the animations and all of that. Now, you know, 2K is not perfect, so I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, I think y'all know where I'm going with this. I'm sick and tired of the whole collective of the folks that we have to deal with sometimes. And I'm telling y'all some stuff that people normally don't say publicly, but I'm not breaking any rules. Just like there's competitive guys that you got to combat with, there's guys in the program, the Game Changer program, the same way. And what Smitty and I are always preaching, we just want football. That's it. I don't care about your label. And like honestly, it's sad that we have to label it sim guys. How crazy is that? Oh, they sim guys. We all should be sim guys. We should want football.
Right. Like, it's not even, but you know what? It's not even about saying sim or comp or anything like that. It's just saying we want authentic football, but we want it to be tailored. We want to have more absolute control. That's it. And it's like, okay, then that makes sense. Like, that's like, once again, I'll use FIFA as the example. FIFA, the game is loose to a degree. Okay? But there are still elements that you can tether. So it's like, you play on a sim setting, it's going to be looser. It's going to be a hardcore, authentic, you know, soccer game. But at the same time, you know, where there's degrees of error, like, you have to know your personnel. If you have somebody that isn't good at dribbling at all and don't have the best ball handling skills or not as accurate of a passer, you better know who they are. Now, with a comp setting, will be like, it's going to be a bit more sticky. So you can, you know, players that aren't as accurate won't be as penalized. Like they'll still get penalized, but the penalty will be a little bit smaller. So ratings and everything will still be tangible, but it's not going to hold you to as much of a penalty because it's on a comp setting. I'm fine with that. I don't care. But when I play on sim, when people whine and complain, affect their side of the table. That's it. And you know what? And if you just so happen to affect the true, pure, authentic side of the game, all right, that's fine. I could go in these sliders and easily tailor it. That's all I'm saying. Now, if I play online, then now I'm gonna really have a problem. But if I play offline, oh, okay, I can just adjust 2-3 sliders here in regards to that facet of the game that you guys modified, and I'm straight. I got the game clicking, and I'm good. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we need to be able to. That's the kind of game that we need to have built, so that way we can have that kind of experience. Because what Sim's saying is spot on. There's guys out here that have this level of, they want to be devil's advocate 24/7, but then it's like, look at every other sports game. FIFA, PES, NHL, UFC. Look at all the stuff they've done. I mean, look what they've done. And it's like, when we bring the same, as soon as we take that discussion and say, man, look at all the authentic things they did in 2K and FIFA and PES and NHL and MLB. Okay, now, but let's have that discussion when it comes to Madden. Well, I don't know if we could do that because people won't want to play the game if we do those kind of things. It's like FIFA sells 14, 15 million. PES sells in the millions. MLB sells in the millions. 2K sold 10 million copies. Plus, I mean, all these other companies are just rising. But for some odd reason, when we say Madden, it's we can't do it. Well, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why the heck not? It needs to happen. For real, like it just needs to happen. It's like entertain our curiosity, and how about the next 3-4 years? Just make a straight up authentic football game. Just do it. Do something that hasn't happened with Madden since PS2 days. Go for straight authenticity with the innovation. Add innovative mechanics that lend to the authenticity of the sport of football. Do it. And let's see what happens. Let's see how many people love it and how many people hate it. Let's see how many people complain about it and then eventually warm up to it. I mean, I'm just curious. I can only imagine. Just let's see if Madden actually increases in sales with deep innovation over the next few years versus subtle innovation and big time expansion on MUT, like what's been happening all this time. What if that actually happened? I mean, I could only imagine what would happen to the game. I could only imagine how much more MUT revenue you get. I can only imagine how many more units will be sold due to making a move like that. That's all I'm saying. I'm just real curious about that. I mean, I only see things going up and higher and higher. That's all I'm saying. I don't understand though. So like you said, I just don't understand that. And it's like that's the internal battle and that's the external battle that we keep on having when it comes to this game. It's externally what I mean by people even on the outside do the exact same thing. I mean, you're seeing it with the Madden tournament. That's why you got guys, I'm looking at my timeline and people are talking like, y'all want stuff out? Y'all want things out of football? Because of Madden? Because of what you're playing in the Madden tournament? You want this out? You want that out? Like, what? So, yeah. It's crazy, man. A shout out to Brett Lee for the...
Shout outs. Round of applause.
$10, bro. Shout out to him, man. But go ahead, Sim. I'm going to throw it back to you, bro.
Here's another thing. Watching this game, man. It just shows me how I want to feel fear when I play Madden and follow what I'm about to say. So Pittsburgh somehow, guys, we done turned this game around. The score is now 24-7, right? Momentum swung. So what happened? Let me give you guys a quick synopsis. Cam Newton and the boys get the ball first. I'm watching that the Steelers defense is having a tough time defending read option, hand off to McCaffrey, McCaffrey up the middle, McCaffrey off tackle, inside zone, killing us, right? McCaffrey has really been their main weapon. They run right down the field. They get to about the 19-yard line. Looks like the Steelers is playing run. They catch the Steelers with Vince Williams one-on-one against McCaffrey. And that's going to equal a touchdown, which I said on Tuesday when I did the podcast for the Terrible Towel. I said, listen, we cannot get in a situation where McCaffrey is matched up on Vince Williams or John Bostic, right? That happens. Boom. Pittsburgh gets the ball back. They come out passing. Ben finds Juju. Bradbury falls or whatever. Juju takes it 60, 70 yards, whatever that is, touchdown. Get the ball back. I'm talking about Carolina. Steelers bring pressure. T.J. Watt is all in the face of Cam Newton. Cam counter panics. Throws it in the middle of the field trying to hit Olsen. But because, listen to this, he wasn't in great position, he's unable to make a clean throw. Throws it awkwardly in the middle. Floats on him. Vince Williams picks it off. Gets a touchdown. Momentum has swung. Remember composure in NCAA? This is where we need that now. We need Living Worlds to kick in. The home team got an interception at Heinz Field. It's 14-7 now. The crowd is going crazy. And just now, the Steelers were driving once again, right? Driving down the field. They give up a sack because you get Julius Peppers, veteran Julius Peppers, right? He's matched up against a backup tackle in Matt Fowler, which Matt Fowler has played well. He played great against Baltimore last week. Hits him with a quick chop, gets his hands down, Ben gets sacked. Killed the drive. And they have to settle for a field goal. We don't have that fear in Madden when it's 3rd and 18. Think about it. Are you really afraid when you down in distance in Madden? No, not really. You don't feel the anxiety of, man, ain't no way. Let me just dump this down. Let me run a screen or something like that. And then on top of that, Smitty, when you run the screen, now you have to rely on, is the dice roll going to kick in? And am I going to get the appropriate blocking? Because you know that whenever you run a halfback screen, I mean, you just at the mercy of whenever the linemen kick in. Okay, now turn around, because there's no organicness there, and I don't even know if organicness is a word, but y'all know what I'm saying. There's no lineman looking for work. They just turn. Right. How many times have y'all seen, whether you're playing a user or the computer, where this one guy just seems to run right past 3 linemen and tackle you for a loss?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. It doesn't have, and again, all the while, because I feel like I still have to continue to say this, I still don't think that the game is a trash game. But it's these things that makes the difference. It is these little things that make the difference in decent and great. Because Madden, trust me, if Madden could get those things right, it's a great game. Because believe it or not, and Wakia has co-signed this, there's fundamentals in Madden. There's plenty of them there. They just do a relatively, I gotta say it, they kind of do a terrible job replicating some of these fundamentals. That is the problem. They do a relatively bad job replicating the fundamentals. That's the issue. But if this game respected true matchups, physical mass, players' relative position, meaning you just can't, right there, if y'all watching this game, you saw they ran that reverse. You see how Bud Dupree wasn't easily able to turn and catch Samuel on the reverse?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm talking about. This kind of stuff, if that stuff played out the way it does in real football, we are having a different conversation now. We're talking about how much fun we're having playing Madden. Look at what Cam Newton is doing right now. Cam Newton is taking advantage of the mismatches that are on that Steelers defense. Cody Sensabaugh, folks, is a mismatch against anybody. I'm just being honest. He's been more stable than Artie Burns, but look at this formation. Bunch, trips to the left, and they're gonna run. Oh, they ran a fake inside zone. Look at this. Once again, you get Bostic out in coverage, and they pick up 12 yards. This is the stuff we're talking about. You can't really do this in Madden. Somewhat, but not to the degree where it needs to be. Because, I don't know about you guys, but I don't feel like whenever I play Madden, I don't feel like I have to change my personnel.
Right.
I have to make this adjustment, that adjustment. I don't feel like that. Positional advantage has yet to work. Dead on, Kia. And Kia made a great point, man. He made a great point. It was a game that I showed early in the cycle, and I loved it. I was like, look at this. I couldn't make this play. I was using this guy right here, but I took myself out of position, and I couldn't make the play. Right? It was beautiful. And then rewind to, fast forward up to now, the video I put out earlier this week, or it might have been last week. I lose track of the days. I'm showing you how a guy is not in position and he clicks on and he's easily able to make the interception or swat it down. And I mean, you're making the perfect read. RPM has been tampered with. I'm going to read one of these comments. Barry Lee says, I hear what Smitty is saying, but it's adding onto a building without solidifying the foundation, the core. Still doesn't work correctly. It still has numerous flaws that need to be fixed. How do you innovate on something that still needs to be repaired at the foundation level? And you know what, Barry, that's the point Smitty and I continue to make. That's where the money and the figureheads come in. They have to allow them to start going back in and stripping down all of the bad or the non-good code that's in the game, and they have to allow them to rebuild code-wise. Because these innovations that they're coming up with, like you said, every year, are good things. RPM is a great thing. All of that coverage technology that A-Dub is dumping in the game, and by the way, there's going to be more. Because I know there are more patches that these guys plan on doing. But it's kind of like you said. It's on a rocky foundation. So sometimes it's going to work. Other times, the ugly head is going to rear. It's going to come out. And I don't know. I just don't understand, man. And this is why Smitty and I don't waver when we're in conversations with folks that we need to be in conversation with. Even those, other game changers that don't always see it that way. We are always saying, no, 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 no. You can't do that. We need to go back and fix core problems. I see George Harris says Madden 16 was the best by far. Maybe pre-launch. Maybe
pre-launch they had something.
Yeah, right before they patched it, it was starting to be something. Where the matchup seemed to work. But I don't want us to be fooled either, though. Because we both know, Smitty and I both know, that there's still things that was governing some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like you were able to, you did have to fear a Beckham one-on-one, but they still had the Moss effect in the game from time to time, and it still wasn't organic enough to where a guy like Cody Sensabaugh could win one of those battles. And see, that's what the problem is. It still was too tied to dice roll. And let me say this before I throw it back to Smitty. Dice rolls happen pretty much in every football game, every baseball game, everything that we play, right? Even your 2Ks of the world, your MLBs, your FIFAs. However, here's the difference. In a game like FIFA, what's actually happening at that moment can override the dice roll. If a player is not in position, he's not going to magically win the dice roll. Or if they collide, the physics plays out appropriately. Or like Pez has been, being recognized for having some of the best player movement, and like Kia always says, some of the best ball physics. Those things can override the quote-unquote dice roll. It's not a forced situation. It's not like a magnet situation that allows the user player to get sucked into the catch. Or you see what I'm saying? Madden to me is probably one of the worst games that, like, think about this one. Look at this again. Here's another touchdown by the the Panthers. Same pass to McCaffrey. Ain't that something? Same pass. See, now this is coaching right here. And I got to look at the replay. Yep. Looks like it was Vince Williams again. This is coaching, folks. The Steelers should have been more prepared in this situation. Because this is almost the exact spot where they ran it before. And we got caught again with two linebackers out there. Instead of being in more of a nickel, perhaps we may have should have went in dime because you get a faster linebacker in LJ Fort. Wow. But anyway, matchups, guys, matchups. But yeah, man, what you got, Smitty?
No, you right. No, you're 100% right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I mean, it's like the point that you had made. You know, like when it comes to what we're getting and what's happening in this game right now, like you said, matchup stick. Wouldn't it be awesome to see the matchup stick come into play in a tournament? That you're adding new dynamics that you got to be accountable for when it comes to gameplay. When you say, "Oh man, how come he dropped this?" That's why. Like you're able to explain. You'll be able to talk to why certain things happen to your players. You know what I'm saying? And just like when you bring up the examples with PES and FIFA, it's like, yes, they have their dynamic elements in there. All the games have scripting, all the games have one-to-one elements. But at the same time, it's as if I pass the ball from receiver A to receiver B, they're going to get this catch. But the thing is, even though it's like this pass is going to be completed to receiver B, there's this variable X that can interrupt the whole thing. How are they going to interrupt it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they interrupted the pass because this particular limb, this arm, this leg, his chest, his head, his foot hit the ball. So therefore, this variable X disrupted the original equation going from point A to point B. We don't have that in Madden. What we basically have is, well, it's either going to be one of these three outcomes. It's already picked. You see what I'm saying? And it's just a choice between what's going to be given to us because there's no real the dynamic is not truly there. And that's what we're lacking big time when it comes to Madden.
Yep.
Like that X variable, the X variable that you get in FIFA, you get in NHL, you get to an extent, you even get it not to an extent. Well, based off of how they had the system built out, you even get it in UFC. But we don't have it in Madden. And see, that's the thing. UFC has its static stuff too. But you also have the dynamic hit points. You threw this punch when somebody threw a kick. Based off of where their head went, oh snap, their face went forward trying to do a different strike as you threw your punch. So that means dynamically, this is the intended damage that would have happened. It would have been damage level 1. But because of what they tried to do, and your strike landed with more force, damage level times 3. And then it's programmed in the game to do it. It's like it's done in your own. It's done in these other titles that are under the EA umbrella. Why can't we get that happening in Madden?
It's crazy, man.
And then when we say you know, and that's the kind of stuff when you hear Sim and I and everything. See, we advocating for y'all. Always understand that. We advocating for y'all, for us, all that. So it's like when we talking about this stuff, and it's like, what? No, no, that can't be the case. No. Can't be.
Here's a question too, Smitty, because I want to get your response to statement Spirit of Truth just wrote. He says, I think EA likes to toy with us over Madden. So my question, and this is the question we always say, why Madden? Madden is not even the biggest moneymaker. So why you know, like I can't always go with that notion, because why Madden? Why would that be the game that they choose to just play around with? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Like, and that's the thing about it. It's like Madden is the game that is always. It's like Madden, as if Madden is the redheaded stepchild game. And all the other games, it's like we'll make sure to give them the royal treatment. But Madden, we're gonna act like we got to keep putting it behind and further behind and further behind. That's the game that we can keep messing with, keep tinkering with. Because, see, to be quite honest, it's as if, I mean, not you know, like, this is my opinion, but it makes me feel like the knowledge that A-Dub has is being disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
The knowledge that Clint and all those other football-minded people that are in there that they have is all being undermined. It's being disrespected. They're being disrespectfully touted. Because, you know, like, these guys, the trenches should be phenomenal at this point. They should be phenomenal right now.
Yes,
they talk about all these animations and stuff like that they had. Remember they said 300 animations in the trenches. Where they at?
Where they at, though?
Yeah, you know, like, where are all these animations at? I haven't seen them. And then what about, remember, Sim, how many catches they said? Over 400 catch animations were added, they said, years ago? Where they at? Where are all these animations at? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, we got too many animation sequences and stuff like that, but no, where's the 400 plus catch animations? This was the stuff that was talked about when there wasn't Whiteout DB interactions. This is stuff that was promoted prior to games releasing. There wasn't no internal secret stuff. This was promoted. So what's going on? Where are these animations at? Where's all this work that was done? Like, we need that to be put into this game here. I don't get it. FIFA, I understand the NFL doesn't allow them to do mocap with, you know, the actual NFL players, which I think that's crazy, but that's how they choose to operate. Fine. But you got Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, you got Ronaldo and Messi and all them people for FIFA. All these people put on the mocap suits, mocapping for the game, all that stuff. Like their lives ain't like their health don't matter when it comes to playing soccer. Please, as much money as those guys get, and these dudes go right in the studio, throw on them mocap suits, and they capping away. Why can't we get that same kind of treatment, even if it's not NFL players? Why can't we get an abundance of mocap people mocapping the game, and then all the stuff they do goes in the game? Not, oh man, we might be able to. No. Just like the point I said the other day. You're making you made $5.1 billion, man. Sorry. Some of them resources need to go into Madden. Real talk. And I understand Mutt gets all the innovation that they get and everything else. Why not get that same kind of development treatment on gameplay, on franchise? Hey, look at what UFC did. UFC from the point that game launched to where it's at now, they just didn't tune and tweak. They've added a bunch of animations to the game since then. They literally added fighters. They mocapped 2 recent fighters. They mocapped them, digitally captured them for the game. Their movement, their striking, all of that, and added it into the game. And I understand they're on the 2-year dev cycle and all that. I get it. But that treatment needs to be given to Madden. They need to collaborate with EA, whatever it is, EA Canada, EA Europe, whomever it is. They need to get with them, and honestly, it needs to be an all hands on deck. Just like that Project Atlas. Go all hands on deck with Madden. Actually get this game caught up. I know they making mad money with revenue, but get the game caught up the way it needs to be caught up. The game needs to be much better than this. EA should easily be generating way more revenue off of that game than what they're getting right now. And it's like, you gotta let these cats do the work that needs to be done and just build it, man. For real, gotta let these cats build it. This game staying in the same spot again is not that ain't cutting it, cuz. For real. So, but I'll throw it to you, Sim, man.
It's interesting, man. Again, as I watch real football, I see like weaknesses on teams, and I feel like we got to be able to better expose that in Madden. Mm-hmm. You know, the Steelers for a few years now, and you know, partly you could say it was getting better because last year I think Ryan Shazier was having his best season until he got injured. But the biggest problem the Steelers have right now is down the middle of the field, man. Tight ends still give us a problem. We're getting pretty solid play out of Joe Hayden. You know, Joe Hayden is having a solid year. And, you know, we all know what the other cornerback, you know, Artie Burns gets benched. And we've been running with Cody Sensabaugh for the last couple games. And it doesn't seem like Cam Sutton is ready to be the guy opposite Joe Hayden. And Mike Hilton has been our best nickel guy. But that middle of the field, that little intermediate area is still what's killing the Steelers. And it's a matchup. And you can see it in this game. The Panthers really are having the most success going to Greg Olsen and running the football. But I think by the Steelers continuing to score, you know, it's kind of we'll see if they score here on their final drive here before the half. But I think and getting into the second half is going to kind of force them out of that run a little bit. That's been hurting them as well. You know, the inside zones and kind of the read option look has been hurting us so far in the game, even though we're up. But it's the tight ends. You know, we really don't have nobody that can really deal with tight ends. And they're showing the Antonio Brown play here. You know, he gets a little push off. You know, AB is good with that little push off. But it's funny because the way he did it, he's holding the sleeve of the DB. That's a veteran move right there to get free. But I still go back and say what I say, Smitty. Why put a young guy on Antonio Brown one-on-one? You just don't do that. You don't single man that. But anyway, these matchups, man, I want to play a game where you can actually expose real problems in your opponent's defense. And it's not there. And I wanted to comment on what SpectreBug said a little earlier, if I'm saying your name correct. Look at this. Greg Olsen again. They Greg Olsen all the way down the field. I mean, why? And here's where coaching comes into play a little bit, Smitty. It's less than 2 minutes and a half. I think now we need to go back or go into our dime package and get Morgan Burnett on the field. But anyway. You guys are right when you say a part of it is, ooh, Cam just got punished. You guys are right when you say the lack of competition is a big part of it. You're absolutely correct. It's a huge part of it. And that's the reason why we have to... Oh, that's a fumble. Too bad we couldn't get that thing. That's the reason why we got to try to get at the higher ups, man. because they need to understand. You know what I mean? They need to understand the frustration that we all have. But you know, it's all of that. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right to say it is a lack of competition, which it is. But then also, I still feel like what Smitty says, I don't care about that. You know, as a company, they need to be worrying about. They need to worry about producing the best product. You know what I mean? And that's what I want, and that's all I'm asking for. I understand you're the only game in town, and obviously, guys, we understand that you got to find something to sell every year. I get it, but can we just get the foundation? You know how many bells and whistles and tricks and, you know, they can add each year to make the game marketable? We just want to get it to that stable point. Give us the, you know, give us the stability. That's all we asking for. That's all we asking for. Because basically, does 2K not sell every year? And how much have they really added to the basketball aspect? Well, or no, actually, they did clean some good stuff up this year. Yeah. But have we not pretty much seen, let's be honest, pretty much the same, pretty much. I'm not talking about this year when they tackled a lot of legacy stuff. But pretty much, it's the same game and baseline game since 2K14. Yeah. We can't say that about Madden positively. Anytime we say that, we talking about negative stuff. And that's what I'm saying. MLB The Show don't seem to have a problem, which I don't know how much units they sell because they're only on one console, but they don't seem to be hurting in that area. And they, you know, they can still sell every year. You know? So I don't want to hear that from Madden, man. Oh, we gotta save some stuff. Keep some stuff in the tuck. No, brother. No. You can give us the baseline fundamental game and then bring all the bells and whistles you want to bring later. But we're not gonna stop this fight, man, and we'll see, guys. We'll see. I'm just gonna keep. I want y'all to remember that I said we'll see, because there's some things. Let me just leave it at that. Just remember I said this. I said it before, but I'm gonna keep saying it. Madden 20 is gonna be very telling to me in terms of what the real direction is going to be for Madden as the Steelers get an interception. Oh, they calling it a no catch. But I thought my boy Terrell Edmonds got him another one, the young rookie. Hold on. Upon further review. Oh no, I hit the ground. But anyway, that was a good stop by the Steelers right there. They're gonna get the ball back with 1:07 left to go into the half. Score is 31-14. If you are a Panthers fan, you know I'm an equal opportunist. You know I ain't hating on the Panthers, but if you're a Panther fan, you should be a little concerned right now because they look like they're reeling a little bit. You know, and I don't think the strong suit is going to be for the Panthers to drop back and throw the football a ton of times. Even though they seem to be having success with Olsen, I don't think that's a recipe for a victory on the road, as their defense hasn't been able to really stop the Steelers. So this is interesting. But anyway, man, I don't know, Smitty. We got anything else, man? I didn't even realize it was 9:45.
Shoot. None I can think of.
But I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, we will end it with this. We pretty much talked about this already in a roundabout way, but we didn't hit it head on. Do you think? I know your answer, but I'm just saying this for the sake of everybody else. Should there be a meta in any game? Any game. Should there be something that's easily identifiable that people are using to be successful in a game? You know, should it be a such thing as the meta? Because we all know, and again, shout outs to Kia in his video, most of us who watch the tournaments or just, frequent Twitter, we know what the meta is in Madden, right? I don't personally know if there's a meta in 2K or FIFA. I don't know. I don't know. So my question is, should that even be a such thing, Smitty? I mean, should there be any type of quote-unquote meta that you can just utilize and pretty much be successful or compete just based off of the meta?
No. It should be the meta. If the quote-unquote meta should be football. It should be the sport that they're trying to replicate respectively. That honestly should be what the apparent meta should be about. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, when you're trying to tailor an experience, like, that's what it should all just be about, the experience. Look, why do you think we give props to, like I've said before, why do you think we give props to studios like Insomniac Gaming, Sucker Punch, Naughty Dog, Rockstar? You know what I'm saying? It's because they do a outstanding job at delivering a authentic experience, a clean, enjoyable experience when it comes to the respective sport, right? It's, you know, I mean, the respective sport, the respective gaming experience. Like, if I'm playing, if it's you know, replicating the Old West, replicating Spider-Man, or you're creating a complete believable adventure like The Last of Us or Uncharted, it's the experience. And how are you going to immerse me in the experience? It's not, well, we're going to make an experience, but then we're going to wait and see how you guys feel about it, and then we're going to tailor it around that. Like, no. It's all about making the experience. So if I'm making a soccer game, a tennis game, a baseball game, whatever game, it should be about the experience. Now, when there are mechanics that need to be fixed, fix them. Otherwise, do not change the game because people feel a certain way. You can't do that. If people feel a certain way, then that's on them to adjust. That's on the end user to adjust to. You see what I'm saying? If they don't want to, then they're just going to get left behind. It can't always be, oh, wait a minute, we have a group of people that feel this way, or a group of people that are doing this or doing that. We got to adjust the game and dial it down or tune this up based upon this data right here. No. EA hired all these football people to work on the game, to make the game of football, right? Then let them work. Let them create the experience. Like I said, EA made all that money. Man, finance them. Get whoever needs to be brought over and get them in there. And get the game where it needs to be at. Make the game based off of, the meta is the NFL. The meta, the AA. Me, Sim, everybody else, we're watching the meta right now. That's the meta. Okay? That's the meta. Not, well, while playing this game, these people feel this way, and because they feel this way, this is what we're going to do. Man, scratch all that. No, man. Can't keep doing that. Can't keep trying to please these other people if that's the case. No, get rid of all that. I don't like that at all, because you have other people whose gaming experiences get completely ruined because other people feel a certain way. That's what the play styles were put into the game for. And it's like, there's trouble with that, because every time there's something nerfed or every time something is being taken away, tuned down, whatever, everyone is feeling it. Everyone is getting the same treatment. It's like, we played a game on Sim. The line between Sim and comp is virtually blurred because of all the updating and tuning that has transpired with this game at this point, man. And that's extremely annoying, man. That's very annoying to me. Because the game should be a lot, like I said, once again, the game should be a lot better at this point. And it's like, like I said, me, Sim, AZ, and others will play the game early. This game is feeling good, it's playing good, etc., etc. And then the game we get, it's like, what the heck happened? After a few weeks, it's like, what happened? Why isn't this the game that we should have? Like, why aren't we getting what we deserve out this product? And because of that, people don't feel like playing the game no more. That's like, you know, the situation with Madden, NBA Live feels real comparable in this regard. Sim, I don't know you really been messing with Live at all or not, but
Negative.
over the past, it's like the past three updates that they've done, all of them are like between 5 and 6 gigs a pop. All of these updates literally have been stuff in regards to clothes and player face updates. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, listen, clothes, okay, I get it. Accessorizing your player, I get all that. But at the same time, there's a lot of gameplay issues that need to be tackled right now. Overdoing some, adding shoes and clothes and all that. If the game isn't playing right, I don't really care about, what extracurricular you got going on until you get the core game working properly. That has to happen with the game. That's the key thing that has to happen. Point blank, period. Make the game the way it needs to be done. Then yeah, you could add all the shoes, all the jerseys, all the whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Knock yourself out. But we need that experience. And EA, I feel extremely confident is way more than capable of doing it. But I feel that they're not being invested in it as heavily as they should. That's my feeling. And it's like the product shows it. I mean, you hear people all online talk about, how Madden was back then and how it is now. Like that's how they feel about it. Like, I can't get mad at the people that feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, they hold valid points. Because the game it looks as if, and it feels as if, like, dang, well, look at all this stuff in Ultimate Team, but what about, why is franchise mode so skimpy? Look at all this stuff done on Ultimate Team, but why is this so skimpy? Like, just like you look at NBA Live. Ultimate Team ain't get that much love at all, but look at the stuff they did with court battles and all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you see it. The product will show you at the end of the day. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm really not certain here, man. And I just want Madden, like I said, we all just want Madden to become a better game. I mean, if you told me in 2005 that Madden would be in this state by this point right now, that PS2 caliber Madden would still be more feature and mode depth rich than what we got in 2018, I'd say you crazy. I'd say you're crazy. But that's actually true right now. And that makes no sense to be able to do that. I shouldn't be able to bust out Madden 06 PS2 version and be able to outclass elements of Madden with that. And I can. That's not acceptable. That is not acceptable.
Pretty bad.
So, yeah. Well, go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say real quick before we close out, because I meant to say it earlier. The thing about APF, like what Kia was saying, and I understand fully why Smitty will be playing it, because you can still get your enjoyment out of it. I probably would dibble and dabble with it a little bit if I still had, a prior gen console, but at the same time, like, that wears off so quick. Like, I can't go back and play that game. I can play it for a minute, and that's, I know that's probably how Smitty's gonna do it, stream it every now and then. But it still ain't gonna be his primary. He got so many other games to enjoy on 2018 calendar year games, and this is the point. Like I see people pumping those things up, and we all will acknowledge the game it was great for its time, but you play it for long enough, you'll start seeing the flaws in that game too, which unfortunately there's nothing we can do about it. No updates, no patches. But it's such a old, like I just can't play old stuff that long because I could pop in Red Dead. I could pop in 2K. I could pop in FIFA and NHL. Excuse me, and NHL, which I've been not giving as much love as that deserves. It's just, it doesn't hold my attention, even though it was a great football game for its time. I want to play the 2018 version of a great football game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, it's just sad. It's just sad. And I know, we know there's, you know, there's supposed to be an update coming, and I believe there's a few more coming. I'm going to remain quiet on that because can't really go into any kind of details, but you know, I saw even Clint promoted it on Twitter. You know that he thinks people will be pleased with the next one. We'll see. We'll see. But to me, bottom line, 20, and this is not well, we'll see next year type of thing. It ain't about that. Because we already generally know the ins and outs. What I'm looking forward to in 20 is it's going to tell me the real direction of Madden. That game was going to tell me the direction. And why is that important is because, again, no Rex Dixon. Okay? Carlos Guerrero, again, was there enough to drink a few cups of coffee and gone already. You know, I've heard some other things as far as management is concerned. We'll see. I don't know. I'm waiting to see who the guy is, who the guys are going to be that's in those positions. And that's going to tell us a lot as far as the direction. Because anytime you get a new person there, which the person is probably already there, but I have no idea who's in that role right now. I have no idea. And that's why I said 20 is really going to tell us what the real direction of this game is. We'll see. We're going to keep fighting for as long as we can, man. But I've said it before. When it gets to a point where I don't feel like anything that we are asking for or that we believe in is being implemented, it might come to a crossroad, and you know, I might have to go left instead of right. We'll see. We'll see. But that's all we got, man. We made it. We made it pretty much the whole 2 hours. I didn't think we had enough content to do it. Guys, please, we're begging y'all, give us some topics to talk about. Please. Because at this point, you know, we're just trying to be as, you know, informative and as entertaining for you guys as we can, but y'all know it's not a whole lot happening right now. So help us out. What y'all want us to focus on. And it doesn't have to be Madden. It could be anything. Just any topic y'all want us to cover, sports related, whatever, game related, boom. And we'll talk about it. So outside of that, Smitty, you got any last words before we sign out? Nope, I guess Smitty doesn't have any last words. So, we will sign out. For you Steeler fans, my circumstances actually changed. I actually was asked to go into work today instead of tomorrow. So, guess what? I will be doing a post-game recap. So, for you guys who are here, you Steeler guys, expect me to be doing a post-game. The Turbo Towel post-game show will follow tonight's game. Happy to be able to do that. And we'll see. Maybe we'll be happy if it holds up the way it is, or maybe we'll be pissed off because the Steelers blew a lead. We'll see. But either way, I will see you guys after the game. For myself and Smitty, we thank you guys for coming out, and I will definitely catch you guys next week. All right, y'all be good. Peace.
Peace.